Hello. 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 Every Rush song.
Hello, and welcome to Every Rush Song, where we discuss songs by the rock band Rush. We cover all aspects of the songs and the recordings, and we will eventually discuss every Rush song. And today we examine which song? Jay.
Today, we're talking about Big Money.
Wrong. Nope. Right. Very right. So right.
Track number 1, Big Money,
Mm.
goes around the world.
What did you think the first time that song started in your cassette player? What did y'all start at? Did you get a cassette, CD,
Yeah.
album?
But at that time, I think I was still doing cassettes. Yeah.
Tim?
What about you, Tim?
I got it on album, and it was the second CD when CD technology came out. Moving pictures was first, and then Power Windows.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So the first time, I don't want to go too far off topic, but Hold Your Fire was, I didn't buy a CD until Hold Your Fire came out. When Hold Your Fire came out, that was the first CD I ever bought.
Ooh,
Little Shane tribute for you. It's going to be on the test.
I wasn't even going to buy a CD player, but Rob Bell gave me, I think he gave me the Eagles' greatest hits and something else on CD. And I'm like, how am I going to listen to this? And he's like, you're going to have to buy a CD player. I'm like, you are.
Yeah, I hate you. You should. So when you
and
first,
wasn't he forced to give you the Eagles' greatest hits on CD because his parents were making him burn all of the CDs?
It might,
And the
I don't
Eagles
know.
were on that list.
I don't know why the Eagles would be on that list though. That's their,
so Rob was also persecuted by religion.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Man,
But
Rob and I have
so
a lot
bad.
in common other than our first names.
Yeah. Or, it'd be the girl he was dating. She might say something about the kind of music he listens to. Then he'd go and throw everything away. And
He would always,
that would last about a week. And then he'd start buying them up again.
back in the high school, he always had like on one shoulder, he was truly on one shoulder, he had a little devil, the other one, a little angel telling him what to do. And I remember one night
I think that devil's name was Jay.
No, actually, I was a positive influence, like when we went to the cemetery to drink beer.
Right. Yes.
But like, I remember one time we were, oh man, it was, I think we gone two nights in a row, or maybe it's the same night. We started off listening to Striper, and we're just like, "Oh man, this is great music. I feel, I feel God in the room and blah blah." And then the next album we listened to was uh Mon Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood.
Typical. Sounds about right. So the first time you heard that first chord from the Big Money.
Yeah.
I loved it. When I first heard it, I'm like, this, I don't know, something about it. Just hearing that song to this day takes me back. It just makes me happy. And I don't know why.
Yeah. I guess more of the same but opposite reaction. So, I heard, "Ah," and I was like, oh, here they go. Rush is back. Guitar is in your face. And then you get the keyboards. I was like, oh shit, what are they doing?
But then what about the ba-da-da-da-da? Oh, I guess I like that sort of blues bass da-da-da-da-da-da, that thing. And then I also love the da-da-da, and then because of Alex does that kind of scratchy, higher sound.
Yeah.
And I heard, I just thought, all right, this is cool.
It starts out like it's got that full synth glory when it starts out, and then I don't know, there's that little kick in it with the synth. I call it a synth jump scare because it's just a little kick, and then it's got but when the vocals kick in, that's when Getty starts playing some badass bass and like a really badass bass line, and then Alex comes in with a little guitar, and then we get a little bit more Neil, and then there's a point there you hear in the song, you hear a little bit of, oh yeah, that's Rush. That's those guys, those 3 guys.
Yeah.
But it's not the whole song. It's just but overall, I mean, it's very different. It's very different for Rush. But I freaking loved it. And it was what really got me started on the whole Rush bandwagon, besides the satanic 2112 album that I think
Right.
Shane introduced me to, or Tim.
No, I
would
want to
never.
say the album had been out maybe about 3 weeks, and I didn't have it yet.
Because you were looking for the electric can opener, and they're like,
I
"Oh,
was
sir,
yes,
we don't have
and
electric can opener."
a friend that we all knew back in the day was a trumpet player, really, really good bass guitarist, especially for back then in high school,
Uh-huh.
and tried to look as much like Geddy Lee as possible.
Oh, Billy?
Billy, yeah,
Oh,
Bashir.
yes. Golly, I wonder whatever he's the guy that really, like, he exemplifies the whole Rush era to
Oh,
me.
yes, yes. And I remember him coming up to me after school and asked me, have you heard the new Rush yet? No, I hadn't. I said, is it awesome? He goes, oh, man, it is awesome. And Neil is like, he's just focusing on the snare drum, and that's it. I was like, really? So then the first time when I heard Big Money, and then, yeah, at the end with the
It's all snare roll.
yeah, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to say he's just totally emphasizing on the snare,
maybe
you
he didn't listen
know,
to the second song yet.
probably
Okay.
not.
Another sidetrack. My very first concert. What with Billy, Kevin, our friend Kevin.
Yes.
I think Kevin's brother. Anyway, we went to see Triumph, Thunder 7 tour, Triumph and Molly Hatchet. That was the first concert.
Steven.
Wow.
Yeah, Power Windows was my very first Rush concert. And I was so excited. I couldn't believe that I was in the same building as those 3 guys. And
14,000 other people.
right, Reunion Arena just rocking. And now this isn't anything about Power Windows, but I remember how excited I got when they played 2112 Overture, and I got to be a part for the first time the diggity yes, yes, still, oh. But yeah, first Rush concert, great concert.
That was a great concert.
And, and then look what happened to Big Money. It was the 3rd or 4th song on the set list. It was the first song from the album that they were playing. We're going to do some songs from the new album right now. This is the Big Money, and then after that tour, it was the opener. And
Great opener.
It's a great opening. Yeah,
It is a great opening. Yeah.
Just now again, I remember going, okay, they're playing Big Money as the opener. I want Fair to Radio, because that is just the most awesome opener. But no, it's a great opener. I mean, it's big, it's in your face, it's powerful. It's got the jam at the beginning to really, get the crowd worked up before the vocals come in. Yes.
Yeah, I think I heard on a podcast earlier this week. I think it was the Rush Fancast, Something for Nothing, and they were talking about how an opening song has a good long interlude,
Right.
or a good instrumental beginning before the vocals start is kind of like the warm up to when
Right. Like,
vocals kick in.
you know, different strings from Permanent Waves and Tears from 2112 weren't good openers.
No, no. Yeah,
Wrong.
I'm glad they didn't
Strong
listen to
open.
you and open with
We'd
them.
like to welcome home Rush.
But admit it, if that had happened and you were at that show, you would lose
Oh,
your
we
shit,
I
wouldn't
still
you?
both
would have loved
hands
it.
up in the air. I'm going, they're playing Tears. Great.
So Rush only released 2 singles off of this album. One of them was this song, The Big Money, and the other
And let
was
me guess,
for-
the second single, golly, it was either Marathon or Manhattan Project.
neither one.
No,
Territories?
It was Mystic
No.
Rhythms.
no, that's
Really?
stupid.
There was just 2 singles from it.
Okay, maybe up in Canada they did that, but here in the Dallas Fort
he-
Here
Worth
in the
area,
US,
no,
it's
Well,
probably-
we're not part of the U.S. We're Texas. We're crying out loud.
Yeah,
well,
Walker,
in the
Texas.
US, those were, but I'm sure in Canada they released the other
Oh,
ones.
that's
but
true. So we might have
this-
had different things than they had in
Mystic
Canada.
Rhythms.
yeah.
We'd like to
Oh.
play another song for you from Power Windows. This is Mystic Rhythms.
So I love The Big Money.
Why?
Because it goes around the world.
It goes around
It
the
doesn't
world.
just go to a part of the world. It goes all around so everybody can share. That is socialism for you right there.
So here's my overall
No,
thought
that's where
of
Neil was
the.
headed.
Here's my overall thought about the album and the lyrics, what it means to me. The lyrics, I think the song is about greed and the pursuit of power, which that's the ongoing theme of the entire album. Power in all its different ways. Money being used for powers, politics, running people evil, which brings me to that great line: big money got a mean streak, big money got no soul.
But I disagree with you a little bit. It's not just about how money is evil. It talks about both sides. Big money does the power of good. Big money make mistakes. With each one, it's like it's either the bad, the good, or the good and the bad of big money.
And that's the choice of the person that has the big money. How they're going to use it? Are they gonna use it for good or evil? Evil.
Evil. Which live album is it? Where at the end of it, you hear the $1 million. Is that which?
Oh,
Right. So yeah, I hear that a lot about. But so why then? Because there's a version where they have Austin Powers at the end. Then there's, I think it's
yeah, baby,
in Rio
yeah.
when they have the Simpsons at the end, where it's this doe, a deer, a
Right.
female deer,
Well, dear, yes.
and then a show of hands. They end with the Cheech and Chong earache in my
Right.
eye. Why are they ending it with such comedic tropes if it's such a serious negative song? Is it to lighten it, or is it because, hey, this song isn't as serious as everybody's making it out to be?
I think it's because
Sorry.
But see, you know what? They also, I'm trying to remember what tour it was. I think they might have been switching it up on the Vapor Trails tour between The Simpsons and Your Mother Was a Hamster and Your Father Smelt of Elderberries. So they threw that
Yeah.
in.
Why are they
Which
throwing
that
it?
has
Great.
nothing to do with money.
No. But yeah, they throw in a lot of funny bits at the end of the Big Money. Did they ever end Tom Sawyer with Earache in My Eye? So for some reason I'm thinking I've heard that sometime. Oh, sorry for the tangent. We're talking about the Big Money, folks.
Well, okay. So on the Hold Your Fire tour,
For those of you just joining us, we're talking about the Big Money. Currently, Tim is speaking and I am talking over him. Yep.
Thanks, Dean.
So
Tom.
The Hold Your Fire tour opened with Big Money, and they do the Cheech and Chong thing, but they also did the Cheech and Chong Earache My Eye at the very end when they ended with In the Mood.
Did they really?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
what they did, they were doing the big long trash can ending. Then they go up to another chord. Getty and Alex are running all around the stage and stuff. And then they did this a little Getty and Neil sort of little rhythm section jam. Da 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 da. That was the end of the show. Earache My Eye. Are you kidding me?
Earache My Eye.
What year did that come out? That was more like
1961.
okay.
No.
Okay.
Earache My Eye probably was
Like
70s.
Cheech nor Chong.
Speaking of that, Cheech and Chong, a few years back, they did a reunion. They went on tour. I got to see them at Majestic Theater, and that was
Did they do
quite the experience.
Did they do that
Speaking
song?
of Earache My Eye, yeah.
If you thought you were listening to the Every Rush Song podcast, it is now
It's the
switched
Cheech and
over
Chong,
to the
okay.
Every Cheech and Chong
Okay.
concert that Jay ever saw.
That's right.
Which is one, man.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Tim, keeping us on track. Staying in our lane. Thanks to
Dave. Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man.
So was it just this album? But Neil does a lot of contrasts, and that's one of the things I love about the Big Money and Grand Designs is that there's a lot of contrasts. Like he talks about one thing, but then with a play on words, he says the opposite, or he'll say something, but then it'll sound like the opposite, but because of the play on words, he's kind of re-emphasizing what he just said. So
You know why that is, Shane?
Contrasts.
That's because Neil Peart is was a freaking poet.
And didn't know it.
I think
Well,
he knew.
I think we all knew it. He just didn't want to tell nobody.
Right.
It was his little secret. Speaking of, look at this, y'all. Molson. It's Canadian for beer. We'd like to thank our sponsor.
I don't see that sponsorship. Maybe it'll happen. You know what? I love Molson. I will have some right after this cup of tea.
Yeah. You know, Molson's pretty good though. It would be better if I could find my bottle opener.
For example, Big Money goes around the world. Big Money underground, and that's kind of like the ubiquitousness. Is that a word? Did I say that right? Ubiquitousness.
That sounds good. If it's not a word, let's make it one, shall we?
The contrast of money. It goes around the world. Everybody has it. Everybody needs it. But then it's underground. There's underground things that happen. There's things on the up and up. There's things on the down low. And then another contrast. Big Money has a mighty voice, which is true. I mean, that's where the phrase "money talks" comes from. People listen. Is it
money talks and bullshit walks?
But then Big Money make no sound because it's right. There's a lot of underhanded things going on that nobody knows about, but there's still money passing hands. And if you want to figure out what's going on, then follow the money and you'll see the true motive, right?
It's a power and the glory. It's a war in paradise. It's a Cinderella story.
Thanks.
On a tumble of the dice.
Look, you're out gambling. You're throwing the dice, and it's a Cinderella story. This nobody walks in and walks out with $2 million because he got lucky playing craps.
Exactly.
My favorite line from the song is It's the fool on television getting paid to play the fool.
So what does that mean, Tim?
Well, what it means, Shane, is
He used my name in a sentence. I like it.
To do it, say it slower there.
Did you like that, Jay?
Yeah, I think my question there would be, who's the bigger fool? The fool or the fool?
right. So what it means is, you know, exactly what it says. That fool on television.
Yeah.
You could take a look at your Gilligan, Bob Denver. He played a
Bob
fool on television, you know, and for that time, no, maybe not in the first couple of seasons, but he was getting paid pretty good money just to play that foolish character, you know,
Yeah.
and it's something that, you know, your favorite TV sitcom, comedy show, whatever, you know, and you love Kramer from Seinfeld, you know,
That's
he's
who I
sort of a fool,
that's
you know,
exactly who I think of with that line is Kramer.
right, you know, and, but you sit back and go, golly, I could do that. I could be silly and act dumb like that and just sort of crazy and foolish. And he's getting paid for that stuff. And he's getting paid good money for that stuff.
Yeah.
So
He's getting
I've-
paid big money for that kind of
thank
stuff.
you, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
Bring it back around. Bring it back around.
So, and what I think about that too is, I was looking to see because I should have looked this up earlier, but I've always thought of reality television where you have literal
Oh,
fools, literal
right.
idiots that are being paid to be on TV because they're idiots, and they're being paid to show everyone in America what an idiot they are. Like,
Right.
yes, but that hadn't started yet.
That's
Exactly.
We should call him Nostradamus Peart because he predicted so many things.
It says here that that is not a sanctioned name,
Oh, my bad,
legitimate.
my bad.
It's I think if I'm reading this correctly, it's yes. It says here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have it upside down, backwards. Oh, this page is blank. Never mind. Go ahead. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, didn't need the bottle opener. Turns out I could just
Oh,
twist it off.
It's a twist
now.
top. Wow.
It's a
That-
twist top.
Very nice.
Those Canadians think of
Right.
everything.
That's a revelation. Quite the
Yes.
revelation. Oh, I think another interesting line is the big money weave a mighty web. Because it's easy for money to be a trap or whatever you're trying to do for money to become a trap. But then, like a spider just makes the web, right? And then sits there until fly or bug flies into it. But according to Neil, big money draws the flies. So you kind of have this sort of meaning there where it's the money is drawing you into the trap, but also what else draws flies? Like they talk about just stuff that stinks or smells bad. So I think he intended a double meaning there with it draws you into that trap, but then a different way to think of that is that it just stinks. It smells bad. It's rotten.
What that line makes me think of is the movie Wall Street.
Mm. When did Wall Street come out? Was it around this time?
1942.
Okay. I'm going to quit asking Tim for dates because he's
No, Wall Street came out after. That was late. Yeah, very late 80s.
Yeah.
Look it up, Jay.
And-
You're on Wikipedia.
And I
Oh,
think
Wall Street?
that
Yes.
like Wall Street, the big money, also is kind of a commentary on the sort of excesses and greed of the 80s. Maybe.
Oh, let's not blame the 80s.
Oh, I want to.
for
I'm
it
not
because
blaming
it-
the 80s. I'm just
well-
saying that was a topic. Now looking back on it, but look at all those
But-
movies where all those John Hughes movies. There's always some rich dude or rich girl, right? There was just. And okay, And I'm
Uh,
not saying I'm saying that there's a commentary on it, but I think the basis of the song is the power of money for good and for bad.
Yes, yes.
Tim, Wall Street came out in 1987, directed by Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone.
87. Wow. I was thinking it was like 88, 89. I was 2 years off.
Yeah, but you were close.
Wow.
So
I was close.
you
How was that even
win
in
the
the year
prize.
of 1942? By the way, Tim, olive juice.
I love juice too.
So what about the
I'm sorry. I stopped
line?
listening at
So
that point. I didn't understand what you were saying.
all right,
What?
so what about the take a cruise part? Big money
What
goes around the
about
world,
the
big money take a
Well, I would say since we're blaming the 80s for everything, uh, I guess, that was the thing to start doing. You
spending all your excesses on cruising.
right.
The love boat.
Right. There you go.
but then
Because
he's
you're the big
it's
money, you had the money to do that kind of stuff.
right, but then big money leaves a mighty big weight from the waves on that cruise that you took because you had the big money, and then it leaves a bit of a bruise. Actually, it just says it leaves a bruise, but
Well, I'm wondering if that could be a sports reference
Could be.
for professional athletes starting to get much bigger contracts. And because of those bigger contracts and the sport that they're playing, they're getting all bruised up for that big money.
you know what? I can see that because the next verse says, "Big money make a million dreams. Big money spin big deals. Big money make a mighty head. Big money spin big wheels."
Well, see, that part right there makes me think of The Price is Right.
Now see.
I was thinking more Wheel of Fortune, but yeah,
Like
See,
the
that's good too.
you mean like the gambling thing, the Wheel of Fortune, or the game show Wheel of Fortune?
yes.
Both.
Now that
Right,
you
see,
mention it,
think I think we're getting back into the contrast because you talk about take a cruise, leave a mighty wake. Like there's a you talk about wakes behind a boat, behind a ship, like a cruise ship, but also wakes behind a tornado. The tornado's wake is a path of destruction. So it
right?
could be talking about either one, but it's more of the
Because
contrast.
right with the path of destruction, what do you get? You get beat up, you get bruised, you get hurt.
Yeah. So I mean, is it like a massive path of destruction, like a cruise ship wake, which, not necessarily a path of destruction, because a lot of people like to get behind, like, have you ever been on a watercraft? And so you try to get behind a boat so you could
Yes,
jump
jump
the
the wake.
waves.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, wakes can be fun too, but you go from
Not
the
when you're asleep.
enormous. Hey, nope, not a rush pun,
Apologize.
just a regular pun. Dad joke.
Mhm.
But you go from a massive wake of when you think of a wake, you think of something more massive destruction. From that to just like a bruise, just a little bruise. It can at all levels there's effects of money.
Yeah, it seems like every verse is like the first two lines are sort of or at least the first part, or it's kind of the setup. Here's the good thing, and then here's what happens.
And he
When
always either has a contrast or he just completely turns it around with
right, yeah.
what if it's truth nail, the Neil nail. What about a mighty head? Big money make a mighty.
Hey man, you got big money. It makes you. It gives you a big head. Makes you think your poop don't stink.
All right.
You can do what you want.
Keeping it clean, Jay and Tim. What's another type of head that you can think of? Keeping it clean.
Bathroom.
Can't do it. Can't you? You can't.
I said bathroom.
Okay, hit the head.
I would like to.
Wrong.
I would like to pass.
Jay, do you have a glass handy so you can pour that beer into the glass and tell me what happens towards the top part of said beer poured into glass? What do you get?
You get a mighty big head.
Yeah.
In
But
fact,
that's
I'll just
only
show you. Look at that.
Now,
but see, you poured it correctly, so
now
the
look
head's
at
not
that.
as big as you would think.
Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that
Well,
beautiful?
actually, it's a little too big. You didn't pour it so great.
Now, do you think there's any
I
double
Oh,
just
I
meaning
like
tossed it
there?
up in
that.
there.
Do you think he meant like the gorgeousness that sits atop of that, the fluffy
No,
gorgeousness on top of a beer? Or do you think it was just ego, big head?
ego.
Wow. See, I expected that to be the other way around. Okay.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Yes,
I think
completely.
everybody's wrong. What? Sorry. What were we talking about?
The big money.
Head.
Yes,
The big
the
money.
big money and head on a beer. The head on the beer. My head's almost gone. See, look.
Yeah, that's sad. Sad to say, yeah. Right? Big money building ivory towers. Now, is that a good thing? Because some people talk about ivory towers like a corporate CEO or someone that's kind of clueless or out of touch, living in their ivory tower. Is that
It's just saying big money build. It makes you, makes them rich. I'm a rich dude. I can
build you up? It can knock castles down. It can create or it can destroy.
Yeah, it can put you in a tower. It can knock your tower down once it's there. It can. It says sometimes building you a stairway, lock you underground.
Kind of that same trap situation again from the Mighty Web, perhaps.
Yeah, sure. I like how he referenced, give me that old time religion, give me that old time. Oh no, it just says, it's that old time religion. It's the kingdom they would rule. It's the fool on, then we get into Fool on Television, which of course is Kramer from Seinfeld.
So could that be a knock at religion too? The old time television kingdom when they would rule is that fool on television?
Well,
maybe one of the
it's, I mean,
televangelists.
It could be, yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
knock on that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which, for every, I mean, most of that type are good people, but there's bad people in everything in every profession, and those are the ones that make the name for everybody else and give everybody else a bad name.
Right.
They give love a bad name.
So does Bon Jovi.
So does Bon. Yeah, they do.
Wow, I think that's all the lyrics. So what about music?
Again, I just keep going back to, I just love Getty's bass. Every time I hear that, I just, dude.
And the fact that he's able to play that and sing at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of dun 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 dun, and it's not like the melody of the vocal line is going along with the bass line. It's two completely different things, and he's
I remember back in the day, back when this album came out, I was like really getting into Rush, and I remember being just blown away with how great a bass player Geddy Lee was. And I kind of lost touch with that over the years. And listening to them again, I'm like, my God, he is so good. And just, yeah. All three of them they're Rush. Am I right?
what was that?
You're scaring me.
Tim comes out of the dark with his evil laugh.
Are you?
Vamp for a bit. I have to cough.
I would like to. I would like a heart, Mr. Wizard. Can I have a heart and courage? No, just and perhaps I want to go home, Mr. Wizard.
Hey, what's behind that curtain? Door number 3. It's a really cool guitar solo too. It's almost 2 guitar solos. You've got the more mellow type where he's just kind of doing the harmonics, dong, 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 playing along with the super busy, but the fast upbeat groove going on underneath, and then it switches into the more kind of wailing.
Right, which is something that from a lot of the singles from that album moving forward, Big Money starts like that. The guitar solo from Hold Your Fire on Force 10
Yeah. Yeah.
starts like that. Dreamline
Yeah.
from Roll the Bones starts like,
Marathon's kind of like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Very cool solo. And yeah, I just like, did we talk about it on this one? Was it today or was it last week when we were talking about the album in general? Just all the little sounds that pop up, especially if you're listening in headphones and you can hear the big open chords, just a wah on one speaker with all the ba-da-da, ba-da-da, da-da, all those sounds coming up just on both sides.
Well, so on Power Windows, now they had, they had guest performers. They had Ben Mink do the electric violin on Losing It from Signals. Q Sim or Sim, however you pronounce it, did
Heard it both
keyboard
ways.
textures like on Tears from 2112. But they also had Andy Richards do additional keyboard tracks on this album. Yes.
So playing overdubbed keyboards or just the sound
Mm.
effects or
Right. Just coming up with the stuff, with the sequence, little things like that, but on the keyboard part right there on Big Money and throughout the rest of the album.
yeah. Do you know a lot of those sounds? Are they keyboards or were they triggers from some type of electronic percussion thing that Neil was triggering?
Well, they would have been, they had already started that stuff with, I guess probably Signals. When they played The Weapon, Neil Peart was listening to a click track, okay, for when they played The Weapon. And then definitely Grace Under Pressure. So because of that, they had addition the recorded keyboard tracks that would be playing, and definitely with Power Windows, because it was Power Windows when they thought about, do we bring another person on tour with us
To play some of the keyboards. Now, when you
exactly?
say recorded, do you mean recorded as in they were playing along with a CD or a reel or something, or was it a sequence thing where a MIDI device or something was
Right,
playing the
right.
synthesizers?
Yes, right.
Okay, so they weren't playing along with like, would you say wouldn't really be lip syncing or lip playing, but they sort of had the accompaniment sequencer of some sort that was playing along with them versus
Yes,
playing along with the recording.
yes.
Wow. Where's the line, Tim? Big Money done a power of good. Because
Big Money make
it,
mistakes.
I think I looked, that was an older saying where done a power of good, where someone does a really good thing. So I was glad you brought that up to kind of balance out what seems to be a lot of negativity about
Right.
money. Because yeah, done a power of good, make mistakes. I like the kind of not the incorrect grammar too. Big money instead of big money makes mistakes. Big money make mistakes instead of has a heavy hand, got a heavy hand. I think that's pretty clever to make it a little colloquial, I guess. Colloquy. I can't say that word. You know what? I'm going to stop trying to say words I can't say.
I don't even understand that word.
Surely you can't be serious.
So
I am
okay.
serious, and stop calling me Shirley.
So how awesome is it after that
Thank you,
thing?
sir.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot. I don't know why I almost forgot that because it comes. All right, Tim, never do that again. But yeah, no, wait, first do that again. Okay, so you come out of the guitar solo, right?
Right.
And then you come into the big money goes around the world, give and take. And then after the mistakes part, there's like, or at that part, there's like a little fill. And then the drum line that Tim that Neil is doing there under the take control, got a mean streak, got no soul, where he's doing some crazy thing on the right,
Right. Yeah.
there, like on just at all sorts of different times. That is just one of the coolest, and it's not a fill, right? It's just the rhythm
No,
that he's
it's just
playing.
that's just the rhythm that he's playing.
And it makes that part of the song so intense. and
Right,
so
right. I mean, it's
big
really driving home right there. Yeah.
for that climax, because how awesome is it when he says, "God knows."
No, so
And it's that rhythm, that whatever he's playing there that leads up, that builds up to that,
Right.
that makes it so intense.
Yeah, but he took a back seat on that album.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
I
love Jay
so much.
Sorry, Jay.
You see, the Neil who's in your face took the back seat, but the Neil who adds a little something to give it a lot. He's demonstrating how much he can do with just a little.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm getting a
Bullshit alert.
yeah. Should I tell him? Huh? Good save, Jay.
Thank you.
Salvador Dali's self-portrait says, "Nice save, Jay."
Thank you, Salvador Dali.
He said they not. But then I also think that's a pretty important line. Big money got no soul, which is like, it's just a thing. It's
just
a
money.
tool, and it
Yeah.
can be good. It can be used for good. It can be good used for bad. Whatever you're gonna do with it. I think we want Neil to agree with us, just like we want everybody to agree with us. So we're gonna try to interpret things. We're gonna try to interpret things that others write in a way that agrees with us, even though a lot of I think he's said that he's not always writing from his point of view. Sometimes he's created a character and he's writing from the character's point of view. But
Which I
yeah.
find interesting how when you create a character
yeah,
that you've created,
yeah.
how is it not your point of view?
I have a perfect example for you.
Why are you pointing?
A perfect example for you. The Avengers.
Okay. All right, here we go, Beer Thursday.
Remember from the Avengers, Cap, don't mess with them. They're like gods or something. The god I worship doesn't dress like that. Right? Remember,
Oh, yeah,
wasn't that the
yeah.
line?
Yeah, it was
And
it was something like
interview with, what's his name? Who's the guy that did those?
um,
The
oh, I
Firefly
think it was
guy?
I don't think he said the God he worships. He said, no, he said, yeah, I'm pretty sure God doesn't dress like. I think
Yeah.
that's what he said. Yeah.
But the point was, the guy who wrote the movie, what's his name? He did Ultron. He did all the Firefly movies. What is that guy's name?
Joss Whedon.
Thank you. Joss Whedon is an atheist, but he said he said Steve Rogers isn't an atheist. So he had to write that line from Steve Rogers' point of view. So I think,
Well, that's
Neil
because
can do that.
look, Steve Rogers came from the World War II era, and everybody back then was a Christian. There was no
Okay.
such thing as atheists.
Oh, they
They
invented atheists.
They didn't exist until
So-
the hippies moved
Who
in.
invented
So
the atheists?
Everyone in the 40s was a Christian. I had no idea.
Well,
So, wow. The big money,
Thanks.
everyone.
Seems like there's a little bit of digression coming.
Yeah.
And we're
We
going.
have digressed from the big money. Well, we would like to know what you think of the big money. Hopefully, we've made you think of things you haven't thought of before. If there's anything we missed, got wrong, tell us. We don't know. We're not the experts. We're just throwing stuff out there, throwing it on the wall, see if it sticks. Okay, that's not what we're doing. You can reach out to us, join us. Don't follow or subscribe, but join us on all the podcast apps, all the social media channels. Give us a shout. Every Rush song, everywhere you can think of. Tim, how do we end this?
you guys were great tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you.